The Batman introduced us to a surprising new character at the very end. We never got to see his face, but it was obviously another version of Gotham's Clown Prince. But how did he end up in Arkham? Did Batman put him there? Or was it Gordon? I believe that it was Gordon, and his true origin will be explored even after the Batman 2. Hey there, quirky folks! Today we're going to talk about the kind of growing franchise that the Batman has begun. Matt Reeves worked really hard to come up with a story that would impress all hardcore Batman fans. The film had so many surprising Batman moments that weren't just inspired from the comics, but also places like the Arkham games and the other past inspirations of the characters. And along with Batman, Reeves really did justice to the villains. We had the Riddler as the big bad villain, while Carmine Falcone and Penguin were in support. But the biggest takeaway at the end was the arrival of the Joker. Barry Keoghan got one scene in the entire film, which lasted less than 30 seconds, where he didn't even show his face. And yet, he absolutely nailed the role. We're surely going to see more of him, and I have the perfect idea for where he might show up next. Joker and the Riddler are supposed to team up sometime in the future. It is possible that this team-up will happen in the Batman 2. Rumor has it that the sequel will adapt the No Man's Land storyline from the comics. And we got the perfect setup for that with Gotham being all flooded. Batman even said that there are areas which they weren't able to reach. And we saw how a power vacuum was created after the death of Falcone. So just like the No Man's Land storyline, different individuals could acquire different districts within Gotham as they make their moves to attain more power. Part of it could be owned by the Penguin as he comes in to become the Godfather in his own HBO Max series. And maybe another part could be taken over by Joker and the Riddler once they break out of Arkham. They teased a major comeback, so their land could be titled Jokerville, like in the books. All this would be amazing, but Matt Reeves could also push it to part 3. In fact, he did cast some doubts on Joker's appearance in the next. While speaking to IGN, he said, and I quote, "The Joker scene is not meant to be there to say like, oh, there's an Easter egg, the next movie is X. Like, I don't know that the Joker would be in the next movie, but I can tell you that here's what you're seeing in an early version of the character, and trouble as always is brewing in Gotham." Unquote. So, maybe Joker will probably take on Batman in the Batman 3. But either way, thanks to Matt Reeves, I believe that Barry Keoghan's Joker will make his appearance way before Batman 2 or 3. He told us that Keoghan's character for now is actually a pre-Joker Joker. So, the character needs to be explored properly. We want to know how Joker ended up in Arkham before even fighting Batman. And the perfect opportunity for that arises with the Gotham PD series on HBO Max. Matt Reeves is collaborating to come up with the show, which will serve as a prequel to the events of the Batman. While we saw a Year 2 story from the perspective of Batman in the theaters, the Gotham PD series will have Detective Gordon at its forefront on HBO Max, and the show will take place during the first year when Bruce Wayne became Batman. We'd probably come to see how Jim Gordon came to trust Batman, with Batsy making a couple of cameos here and there. But at the same time, we could also get to see how Barry Keoghan's character ended up at the Arkham Asylum. It could be something similar to how a pre-Joker version called Jerome was used in the first season of Fox's Gotham. He came back as the Joker in latter seasons, but we sort of got his origin in season 1. And the same could be done with Keoghan's character in HBO Max's Gotham PD series. In fact, Matt Reeves has already hinted at this. In an interview with Variety, Reeves revealed how he could use Barry Keoghan on HBO Max. He said, and I quote, "There's stuff I'm very interested in doing in an Arkham space, potentially for HBO Max. There are things we've talked about there, so it's very possible. It also isn't possible that there is some story that comes back where Joker comes into our world." Unquote. So it seems like the perfect plan. First, we'd get a pre-Joker origin in HBO Max's Gotham PD series to explain where this character came from, and how he ended up in Arkham. Then, Matt Reeves could bring us a full-fledged Joker in Batman 2 or perhaps the Batman 3. The roadmap looks pretty obvious, don't you think? And with multiple appearances, Barry Keoghan could probably do something that none of the previous iterations managed to do. Would you guys like to see his origins in the Gotham PD series? Or should he return directly in the Batman sequels as the Joker? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Give us a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button so we could continue coming up with such content. And don't forget to check out some more fun content on our channel. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.